Awesome, awesome. Doing a little camera test there. Cool. Well, good morning, everyone. Hello, hello. I know we have a big event ahead and a chance for snow. Some of y'all I know are very excited about that. Others I've heard are still iced in. So we're going to get directly to those impacts and I'll give you the latest update on everything you need to know. So, yes, this will be a high impact winter storm for much of the Carolinas. Getting straight to the nitty gritty, here's the timing. It's going to be Friday evening to Monday morning. We have a chance for snow, wind. That blowing snow is something big that I'm tracking as well. And cold temperatures. No matter where you are, you will feel this cold. And it's some of our coldest air of the season. Could affect travel and also your pipes and power, especially in those places that were already impacted by this ice. It's been very hard for some of our areas in the mountains to reach above freezing for enough time for this ice to melt. So, something we're keeping track of as well. Here's a look at our current setup. We've got some cloudy skies throughout the Carolinas, but one thing I do want to note, take a look at our Carolinas, both north and south. Not many times you see the full states just covered in these winter storm warnings. Now, for us here in western North Carolina, that's from 4 p.m. today to 7 a.m. Sunday because of this chance for this snow and also these gusty winds and the cold. I'm going to stress the cold a lot just because, it's going to be impactful for sure. So, taking a look, here are our impacts. Friday evening, you want to make sure you use caution. That's because the snow will start to spread, but the roads will start to cover. The reason the roads will turn slick specifically is because the roads are warmer than the atmosphere. So this snow is going to cool onto the roads and it's going to make that coat of ice. It's going to make it significantly harder to drive as you head into Saturday morning. Saturday morning, you're not going to want to be out there. Except for if you do want to play in the snow. This is going to be the best type of snow if you do want to go sledding, even skiing, except for those winds, not the best. It's not going to be the best snowman snow because it's going to be dry and fluffy, but it'll be easy enough to shovel. Now, for Saturday evening, another high impact hour, we've got, of course, snow winds that will come down, but a majority of the snowfall will be between Saturday morning. As you see there, 1 to 3 inches overnight, depending on where you are, 2 to 4 additionally for Saturday morning, and then Saturday evening, you could have about 1, but those winds will start to crank up, and that's something we'll continue to track. Here's a look at those temperatures around 10:30, looking at those 30s and 20s. Not many places at or above freezing, especially in Asheville, currently 29 degrees. We're going to stay pretty cool. You'll start to see that chance for snowfall 4 p.m. Take a look at that. Waynesville, Asheville, Marshall, Burnsville, Silva, even getting down to some of those valleys. And then the snow continues to build throughout the nighttime hours. So a little bit after dinner time, might still be able to see some of this snowfall. And look, by Saturday, 6 a.m., that's when we see this widespread snow. And you can see even with those darker colors, that blue, pretty much in a good amount of the area, that shows you that this is going to be pretty cool to see, but also pretty eventful, especially here in western North Carolina. We have not seen snow over 2 inches ever since January of 2022. It was back in, I think it was January 16th, 2022. So of course, I know many people are ready, but that big factor is also the fact that some of us still have ice on our roads and also on the mountains as well. Taking a closer look as we head into Saturday afternoon, still snowfall, mostly going to be east of I-26. That's where we're going to see more of that snow coverage. As you head westward of 26, a little bit less. That's because this system is going to be off of the east coast, and we'll get into that a little bit later. Snow starts to taper off as we get into dinner time hours on your Saturday. Of course, these models can change, and as we say, don't marry the model. Things can change as this low pressure system develops. So by the time we head into Saturday, temperatures in the teens and chance for even single digits. By the time you wake up Sunday morning, we've got single digits on the way. Waynesville, even chance for 0 degrees, 0. And the big thing is we're going to have that chance for wind that's going to make it feel even colder. Still a chance for some snowfall in the mountains into Sunday morning over there around Burnsville and Marshall. So let's talk about that probability of snow. This is how we forecast, is using these models, but also using probabilities. That's why we give you a range of like 3 to 6, 4 to 8. And as you can see, that probability of 2 inches of snow or more is very high for our region. Everywhere is in that red zone, from Franklin to Anderson to Asheville even, and Marion. So places from the mountains even to the foothills will be able to see that chance for snowfall. But taking a closer look here, let's dive deeper into what you can expect. So probability of 4 inches of snow or more. That's going to be mostly reserved for our mountains. And also you can see there, Charlotte has a good chance to see some as well, and even further south on I-77. This is, of course, something that will accumulate throughout the day from Friday into Saturday. Now, probability of 6-inch snow. You can see that this is a bit more variable in comparison to the other two. And that's because we are seeing that highest chance at our highest peaks for snowfall. 6 inches of snow is possible. We have a chance for some northwesterly flow. That just means that there's winds coming from the northwest on the mountains. It'll create upslope flow, and we'll get a chance for some reinforcing snowfall there along the mountaintops. And yes, you can take a look at that for a sec. I'm pulling in a graphic that I just thought about. Awesome. Hey Megan. Going well. How are you doing? Awesome. Still going, still going. Yep. Yeah, I'll be live for a bit and then I'll meet you in there. Yeah, Megan's over here, and yeah, she's helping us stay prepared, so all the fun. And of course, you can tune in later today at noon. We'll be on at noon, 5 p.m., 6 p.m. here at WLOS, and we'll make sure that you have all of the information that you need to know to be able to fully prepare. And we're not just talking about this snowfall, because there's so much more than that. We also have the cold and the wind. So I wanted to pull in this graphic for you from our system. This is our current snowfall estimates, and you can see a majority of that snowfall will be at those highest peaks. 4 to 8 inches, that will be for the valleys, Asheville area, Waynesville. As you head higher up, 8 to 12 inches is possible. And of course, once again, we haven't had a snow like this since, or a snow above 2 inches since 2022. It's been a minute, so I know many people are excited throughout the area. As we head into the upstate, a chance for snowfall there as well. 4 to 8 inches for Spartanburg, Gaffney, and as you head eastward toward Charlotte, even Gastonia, you're in that 4 to 8 zone. As we head further westward, that's where you see these lower totals. But it's really cool, the totals even head into northeast Georgia. So here's that weekend weather maker. We have a low pressure system. It has a chance to intensify, but look at that snowfall. This is from the GFS model. Once again, many models out there. So don't marry the model, just take it as guidance as it comes in. These can change as the models change, but what I'm showing you right now is that our current models are showing that we get that snowfall Friday, 10, and then this low pressure system is going to creep up toward the Carolinas by about 5, 6 p.m. If you see there, Around Raleigh, Wilmington even has a chance for this snowfall. Some areas have a chance for blizzard-like conditions as you head toward the Outer Banks. And that's where we're seeing a majority of that snow because this is an East Coast system. Once again, by the time we head into Sunday, tapers off, but the storm isn't over. It's actually just begun because after that we have brutal cold ahead, which means that the snow is going to stick longer. And the ice that is already accumulated throughout the area will continue to stick as well. Here's our expected impacts. Of course, heaviest Saturday for that snowfall, specifically in the morning. That's when we're seeing the highest impact here in western North Carolina. The roads, we have a chance for blowing snow because of the wind. That can be very, very hard to travel in. So if you do have plans to travel on Saturday or even Sunday, maybe think twice, see if you can accommodate those plans somehow else. Cold, sub-zero feels like temperatures. You don't want to be outside, even covering your limbs. You're still going to feel the cold. You just don't want to be out there. And that wind gusts of up to 55 miles per hour here in western North Carolina. Taking a look at those temperatures right now, you can see the coldest air is currently there around Minneapolis, there in Canada. That's what's going to come down toward us throughout the next few days as well. And looking at our GFS, you can see that those temperatures are just going to continue to drop from Saturday into Sunday here in Asheville. Chance for those single digits on top of the wind. And that wind, let's talk about it. So right now, very, very calm. But as we head into the later hours, starts to pick up a bit as that snowfall makes its way into the area. Dinner time, we've got some teens for that wind. Not really anything too much to worry about. So once again, if you do need to travel on Friday, go for it. But by the time we reach sunset, that's really when we're going to start to see these slick roads and icy conditions and snowfall on the ground. Heading into Saturday morning, you see 20-mile-per-hour wind gusts. So we're starting to ramp up a bit. This is just the start of that cold air making its way into the area and that snowfall building up here in western North Carolina. Chance for 33 miles per hour in Hendersonville Saturday at 5 p.m. That's around dinner time. Saluda 45 miles per hour is what our models are currently showing. So these winds from the north bringing in that cold air, making it feel much colder, sub-zero possible as we head into Sunday. Look at that, even for Marion. Marion has some of those high values of wind gusts going into Sunday morning. So if you have anything outside, bring it inside. I promise it will be a smart choice if you do. Let's talk about those wind chills now. The feels like temperatures. Into Saturday morning, feeling like the teens. We're going to start off with those real temperatures in the 20s. As we head into Sunday morning, dangerous wind chills. When we get to these negatives, you don't want to be out there. It's not somewhere you want to be. So make sure that you do have, of course, somewhere to go inside if you can. Not only for Saturday when this snow falls, but into Sunday when these wind chills really drop. That's when we're going to feel the impacts, and it'll be for multiple days. Heading into Monday morning, still a chance for negative wind chills, not as extreme as on Sunday, but that morning commute could be difficult in terms of that snow still sticking on that on the ground, and also it just being cold, very, very cold. You're going to want to make sure you bundle up, put on those gloves if you have any heaters for your hands. You will need them. So let's talk about how you can prepare. I know a lot of you are already prepared from last week's storm, and that is great. That is the best thing that you can do, is just have those items that you may need on hand. Of course, make sure that you're looking at your furnaces or any heating supplies that you have and make sure that they are safe. Sometimes we put these heaters on for long periods of time and we forget about them, and sometimes that can end up being deadly. So something to check in on. Also prep for those power outages, because with the ice that we still have in some of our areas, I want to acknowledge that the damage that you've already seen could lead to a bit more because those areas are already impacted and we have a chance for more ice and more snow to just be on the ground and be on the trees as well. Talking about supplies, blankets, shovels, this will be snow you can shovel. This is not icy snow, this is dry, fluffy snow. Great for sledding, not too great for building a snowman if you do want to get out there. And of course, a weather radio is always great if you do, have a power outage. It's very, very easy to be able to get the information that you need. Emergency kit, food, water, medications, and warm clothes. Non-perishables are the best way to go. Just any kind of food that will not rot easily. If you put it in your fridge, you wouldn't need to because you can keep it for as long as you need it. Water is always important. The recommendation is 1 gallon per person per day, just in case if your power does go out. And for medications, sometimes it's good if you do have medications that are cold or that need to be frozen, or not frozen, refrigerated, that you do have a cooler on hand or even some frozen water bottles. That way you can make sure your medications stay fresh. Warm clothes, always important, especially as we head into these sub-zero wind chills, chance for 20s in Asheville, negative 20s, that's below zero. Talking about your vehicle as well, as we head into this, make sure that after the snow passes that you do clean off your vehicles. It keeps everyone safe. Make sure you do have that full gas tank as well, just in case if you need it. So I'll show you a look at our 7-day. That way you can see what we're expecting and get a full overview, and I'll gloss over for those who are just joining and need the info, because this is important stuff. Let's get to it. So Friday, that's when you start to see the snow. That's when we start to get these icy roads, because the warmth of the road will melt the ice, will melt the snow, which will cause ice. And then after that, you have snow that will pile up on top of that. Heading into Saturday, biggest impacts all day. Just stay inside. This will be light, fluffy, dry snow, which will be fun to play in. The problem is we do have winds that can gust up to 55 miles per hour throughout western North Carolina. Sunday morning, that's when we experience the coldest wind chills, negative 20, and you just won't want to be outside. Look at those low temperatures in the single digits. That is really cold. So make sure you do have everything you need to make sure that you are warm, just in case something does impact your home, such as a power outage or even a good amount of snow at those higher elevations. Into Monday, once again cold, could affect your morning commute. That means that the snow is going to stay on the ground, and if you do have any lingering ice from the last storm, it will also continue to stay. As you see there, from Saturday into Sunday and Monday, we're going to have that lull where temperatures do not reach above freezing, and we need a good amount of time for that ice and that snow to be able to melt. Once again, good news is this snow is something that you can shovel off. But that's all I have for this morning. For our morning update, we'll be on at noon at WLOS, and also we will be on all throughout the day giving you your updates. You can, of course, follow me, follow Megan Danahay, Jason Boyer, and Karen Wynn will continue to keep you updated throughout this storm. Whether you do have power and you're able to view the latest updates through TV at WLOS, or of course here, if you don't have power or if you find this more easier to find us on YouTube, we will continue to give you the latest updates on this storm. So thank you so much for joining in. I hope this gave you some comfort on what you can expect throughout this storm and gave you some confidence on how to prepare. We'll continue to keep you updated. I hope you have a wonderful day, and yeah, have a great one.